in my report under the heading Initial Investigation by the MNPD Domestic Violence Division. And then I preface in here that this italicized entry is the summary completed by Detective James Smith and subsequent update by Domestic Violence Division Sergeant Cucci.
And you, for a little while, in regards to the scene as we're discussing it, for a while you believed that there was a missing cup, didn't you?
I did, yes, for a little while.
And in fact, you believe that it was Mr. Taylor who had removed that cup out of the scene, didn't you?
That was my suspicion. I knew there was a cup missing, or I thought there was a cup missing.
And you arbitrarily assigned that misdeed to Mr. Taylor, didn't you?
I never said he removed a cup from the scene that I can think of. I just said that I believe there had been some cleanup because there was a cup that was unaccounted for.
And who did you believe did the cleanup throughout your report?
Specifically of that cup, I don't know.
You didn't think that it was Mr. Taylor who did the cleanup?
Like I said, I don't know. I can say that the cup is in a picture that was on Jade's phone prior to her falling ill. And then later, when we get there, it is over by the sink, sitting next to the wall, the backsplash.
Certainly sitting by the sink inaccessible for you to remove tape tests, correct?
Yes, at that time, if we had known.
And so there was nothing stopping you from knowing, because when you went in to execute the search warrant, the cup was right there the entire time, wasn't it?
There was something to stop me from knowing it was relevant because we didn't get in her phone that night. So I was looking at the glasses that were on the island because glasses were mentioned in the interviews, and looked at those as those were relevant. I wasn't inclined to seize all her drinkware.
Well, wasn't there allegations that Ms. Benning was poisoned as a result of something she was drinking?
Yes.
Would it not have been important to grab every cup, every glass that you saw that was out if we were in search for exactly what happened there that night?
Oh, in retrospect, I absolutely wish I would have done that, but just that night, I did not, because we thought those were the glasses that were in use.
And then it's safe to say none of those glasses or those cups that you left there were tested, were they?
The ones that were left there, no.
And Mr. Taylor did not therefore remove anything from that apartment based on your knowledge.
I'm not aware of him removing anything other than his personal belongings.
Now, as you were learning about the incident, you learned that there was another gentleman who was present that evening with Mr. Taylor, with Mr. Benning, and with Ms. Jackson.
Yes.
And that individual not only was present in the house that night, he was also present on this phone call that Ms. Jackson says these allegations were made against Mr. Taylor. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And when you learned about this incident, did you, and that person is Keontae Jones, right?
And to correct what I just said, he was not present on the phone call where she made the allegations. He was present on a return phone call made by Ms. Jackson with him merged into the call.
Within minutes of that call, correct?
Yes, it was a few minutes after.
He was the only other person besides Ms. Jackson that would have heard Ms. Benning in her distressed state. Would you agree with that?
By that point, she was already believed to be unconscious, so he wouldn't have heard anything.
Well, he didn't tell you that he heard her mumbling a little bit but couldn't make out words, but he could hear her trying to talk?
I can't recall exactly.
And knowing that he was present there that night, knowing that he was the only other person on the phone with her, did you bring him downtown to talk to him like you thought it was important to talk to Ms. Burks and Ms. Jackson?
Not at that time that night. They were there available, ready to go, and I was going to have to follow up with him later. I also didn't even learn about him until that interview.
Which was the 26th?
It was probably 1 o'clock in the morning or so. It was getting close to 1 o'clock before I was even aware of Keontae Jones.
1 o'clock on the 27th?
Yes.
So
It was during the interview with Nigeria, I believe, that I learned a little about that.
not even 48 hours after the incident.
Yes, that's correct.
And so after you learned about him, why didn't you bring him downtown so that you can talk to the only other witness to witness Ms. Benning's distressed state and the person who was inside of the apartment that night?
Because I was going to talk to him at a later time.
And how did you talk to him at a later time?
I've interviewed him over the phone.
It wasn't important to bring him down?
I've interviewed people over the phone all the time. I try to bring people down sometimes, and sometimes I'll talk to them over the phone. Sometimes I'll talk to them in the field.
Did you do any research on Mr. Jones to see if he had any criminal history, to see anything nefarious about him?
Objection, Your Honor.
Let's let the lawyers step up. Go ahead.
What all did you do in regards to Keontae Jones besides talking to him on the phone?
I just interviewed him over the phone.
Now, after you met with Ms. Burks, you met with Ms. Jackson. Is that right?
Yes.
And she explained to you the context and things of their relationship, Mr. Taylor and Ms. Benning, correct?
Yes, she did.
And there was some information that she had given you that wasn't quite consistent with what was going on.